Hello and welcome to Rise and Unwind. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week I talk to people from across the country about things you could do in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, I got a couple of stars.
I love being able to write inside a character. I love that it doesn't have to be me.
Oh, well, I think it's really exciting for kids to see me in their hometown. So then they can go visit the places that I have been.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. Losing service when you're out exploring is pretty much the worst. You can't text, you can't share pictures, and sometimes you just want that peace of mind knowing that you're still a little bit reachable. Or not. Luckily, there's a fix. Travel experts and TV host Kinga Philipps is live with us from the mountaintops of West Virginia to show how T-Mobile is keeping us connected even in places it used to be impossible to be connected. Welcome to the show, Kinga. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I'm in the same boat. I would love to have connection all the time, but I also I love to have the choice to ignore it whenever I need. So I want the connection, but I also be able to ignore it. That's what I'm saying. You got a gorgeous backdrop there. Can you tell us where you're joining us from?
Yes, I am in Dorsey's Knob Park here in West Virginia. It is beautiful. And not only is it gorgeous, but it is also remote. So it makes it the perfect location to introduce T-Mobile's new service, T-Satellite, which allows you to stay connected even in the most remote locations in the United States.
And for years, people have complained about those dead zones. How is this brand new technology changing all that?
Well, you are so right. In fact, there are 500,000 square miles across the United States where no matter how awesome your mobile provider is, there are still dead zones. And these are national parks, they're rural land, farmland along freeways. And what is so cool about T-Satellite is that if you can see the sky, you are connected. So for travelers, adventurers, explorers, and even the people who live and work in these areas, it is absolutely revolutionary, not to mention that most of us in the US have to contend with some kind of extreme weather or natural disaster. So it's a real game changer for safety.
And can you break down T-Satellite a little bit for us, or T-Satellite with Starlink for us? What makes that different?
So the technology is really cool. So T-Satellite is partnered with over 650 Starlink satellites that are constantly circling the planet. And they essentially act like cell towers out in space. So no matter where you are, you're connected. And this technology is available on just about every smartphone that's been built in the last 4 years. If you have the best T-Mobile plans, it's automatic. It just kind of popped up on mine. But even if you have other plans or other providers like Verizon or AT&T, you can purchase this service for $10 a month.
And like me, some people like the idea of unplugging, even though they still want that connectivity. Why is connectivity something that people that even though they want to unplug, something that they still want?
Well, I love to unplug. I work and play off grid all the time. I love being away from it all, but I have also worked with search and rescue teams all across the world. I have come across people in the wilderness who have needed assistance getting out because they were injured. So I deeply understand wanting to be off grid, but also the value of being connected for safety and information purposes.
And I know it's good for people that travel to like rural areas, but how will this benefit people in rural areas? And also, how can it benefit people that are in like really busy areas and there's too much cell phone overload and unable to still connect?
Great question. So T-Mobile is actually leading the way in establishing connectivity in rural areas. And where this service is so great and what it allows you to do is that this is now just another layer of security, whether you are in busy areas or in rural areas. So you can SMS text to 911, and location share on both Apple and Android. They're working on building up more data, so you'll be able to share photos and voice messages. They're also partnering with apps like AccuWeather, All Trails, and WhatsApp, so you'll have that added layer. And because T-Mobile really believes that absolutely everyone deserves peace of mind, the 911 texting is going to be available for everyone on a compatible cell phone, regardless of your carrier, whether you are subscribed or not, and it's going to be free.
That's excellent. All right, where can people go to learn more?
They can visit T-Mobile.com, and all the information I just shared and more is right there for you.
Kinga, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You ever notice how a clean kitchen can change the mood for a whole house? A new survey says a lot of us see cleaning as a love language, which probably might explain why I'm single. I'm not exactly the tidiest. All right, relationship experts Jess Carbino is here to show how chores could boost connection and kill the ick. Yes, it could also keep both in love and keep that spark for days to come, and the counters spotless. Welcome to the show, Dr. Jess. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Dan.
All right. How strong is the link between like sharing chores and relationship help?
Sharing chores is a critical aspect of fostering relationship health. We often don't think about relationships and cleanliness being tied, but they really go hand in hand. In fact, many of us think about our chores as an act of drudgery, but in reality, it can really bring us joy, which is what Seventh Generation, a bio-based cleaning product company, understood when they surveyed over 1,000 Americans about how their relationships were really tied to cleanliness. And one of the most interesting findings was that 85% of individuals said that cleanliness is an act of love.
Why do you think doing the dishes or tidying up without being asked feels romantic to some partners?
Well, doing chores unprompted is so critical because it can really signal that you are going to try to build trust and foster intimacy. And it's a really selfless act, which I think really drives so many people to want to do these things in an unprompted way. In fact, 75% of the individuals surveyed said that they would rather share chores with their partner than receive a gift.
So what ways do a clean home communicate respect for your partner or loved one?
It can communicate respect in such a significant way. It shows that you are really working towards the collective harmony in your household. We know that cleanliness brings individuals harmony and a sense of control, and it can confer that to couples as well, which is so important. In fact, so many individuals state that when their partner is keeping and maintaining a clean house, in fact, 80% of them said that it was a sign of respect.
All right, so what are the top cleaning icks that would sink a date or maybe kill a relationship quick?
Well, Dan, based upon you saying that you're single, I hope these tips are really helpful to you. So we know that messy dishes, messy laundry, messy homes can really, really up the ick factor within your relationship. In fact, 1 in 3 individuals said that they broke off a romantic relationship as the result of their partner's messiness.
Can you point us to some resources where viewers should go for more information?
Excellent. Please go to seventhgeneration.com to learn more.
Dr. Jess, thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure, Dan. Thank you for having me.
What would drive a teenager to help one of America's most notorious serial killers? For the first time in 50 years, Elmer Wayne Henley Jr. breaks his silence about his role in the crimes of Dean Corll, known as the Candyman Killer in The Serial Killer's Apprentice. Criminologist Dr. Katherine Ramsland takes us inside Henley's mind in his chilling partnership with Corll, revealing the complex mix of fear, manipulation, and choices that led to the largest known mass murder in U.S. history at the time. Dr. Ramsland joins us now. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ramsland.
Well, I'm happy to be here, Dan. Thank you for having me.
Okay, you spent more than 60 hours speaking with Elmer Wayne Henley Jr. What was your first impression when you began these conversations?
We first started with letters. My impression was that he was very intelligent, self-reflective, and willing to explore this with me. And then when we talked by phone, he was very remorseful. He was horrified by the things he did, but he did not want me to try to persuade him that he didn't have responsibility in this.
And this case has haunted Houston for decades. What makes Henley's perspective so important to understanding the full story?
Because the sense of what people have of him is from a book that was written 50 years ago, based on pretty much on police reports and a few family interviews. No one talked to Henley. No one talked to anyone who knew Henley and really had not gotten his story. He had attempted to tell it a couple of times, but it was dismissed or distorted. And this is the first time he's really taking a deep dive into his story. He wants the truth of what happened to him out there, in part to help protect kids today and prevent this kind of thing in the future.
And Dean Corll was known as the Candyman Killer. How did he manage to evade suspicion for so long while committing so many crimes?
Corll was what we know as a successful predator. He understood how to groom a whole community to believe he was just a nice guy, a big brother, someone who could take kids to the beach and the movies and whatnot and take over some of the parental responsibilities, and everybody really liked him. So his ability to persuade people that he was just a normal guy while he was looking for, among the teenage boys in the neighborhood, he was looking for victims that he could torture, rape, and kill. And so he was successful at that for 3 years until Henley himself put a stop to it after being his accomplice, but put a stop to it by killing him.
And beyond the true crime aspect, what do you hope viewers will take away from this documentary?
I hope they take away that predators are more sophisticated today than ever. Kids are more vulnerable because they're more willing to share private details and to meet people that they just met online who are complete strangers. So we're hoping that kids who get into trouble, who are pulled into such situations, are listened to when they try to get help, because that's something that Wayne did not have when he tried to get help.
Is there anything that we could learn from the situation and use for future?
I think the important thing is to understand how predators groom the community into believing that they're wonderful people. If there are complaints, or if there is the suggestion that they are doing something with kids, like they don't want other adults around when they're with kids. And so we have a whole list of guidelines in the book about this. We definitely want people to understand that there are things to be on the lookout. They are signals, and that they need to pay attention to them.
The Serial Killer's Apprentice premieres on Investigation Discovery, and it also streams on Max. Don't miss this unprecedented look into one of the most disturbing criminal partnerships in American history. Dr. Ramsland, thanks for joining me this morning.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's one thing to imagine an alien invasion, but it's another to build a show that makes you feel like you're living through it. Invasion is back for season 3 on Apple TV+, and this time, the fight takes us straight into the hearts of the alien mothership. From X-Men to The Martian, Simon Kinberg knows how to tell a big cinematic story, and he's here to talk about raising the stakes, bringing characters together, and what we can expect for this next wave when it hits. Welcome to the show, Simon. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Happy to be here.
All right, so this season brings all of the perspectives from like the past seasons together for the first time. How did that shift change and the tone and the pace of the show?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I was most excited about, really from the beginning of conceiving the show, was that eventually all of these different strands of stories and characters would come together. And it took us, 2 full seasons, and now into our 3rd season, to finally bring these characters together, because they started in all these disparate places, from Asia to the US to Europe, to Northern Africa. And finally, all of our main characters are sort of smashed together on a mission that adds a different level of stakes and in some ways sort of action and velocity to the season 2. The show has been picking up pace as the seasons go on. The first season was kind of like Act 1 of a movie, and the second season was Act 2, where things start to pick up, and then this is really the sort of big clash of like an Act 3 of a film.
And Invasion always has these balanced global, has always these different personal stories from around the world. How do you make sure those human moments will shine in such a big sci-fi setting?
Well, for me, the opportunity and the challenge of the show is to keep it really intimate while also making it really, massive in scale and scope. And the movies that I watched growing up, whether it was E.T. or Star Wars, or Back to the Future or Terminator, they always did a really good job of balancing those two things, the epic and the intimate. And so I just look to those as sort of my North Stars when I'm trying to find the right balance for the show.
And you've got some familiar faces back and some new cast members. What can you tell us about the dynamics between the characters this season?
Well, this season is just completely different than the previous 2 seasons, because all these characters come together for the first time. And so they're having to learn to be a team. The main characters that people who've watched the first couple of seasons hopefully have come to love and have followed. This is the first time that they're really interacting and really forced to become like a little family to survive. And so the dynamic is completely different, because we have all of these people from different parts of the world coming together on a singular mission to try to save the world.
And for fans who've been with Invasion from the start, and maybe for those who are jumping in now, what's one of the things that you hope is a good takeaway from season 3?
I think the thing that's the biggest and coolest thing about season 3 is that we have all these characters coming together for the first time. That you see, if you've been watching, and even if you haven't, you see these characters from completely different worlds, some of whom don't even fully speak the same languages, certainly from completely different cultures and backgrounds. They're all smashed together on a mission that's critical to the survival of the human race, and so the stakes are super high for these characters. And it's a chance for them to get to know each other in the way that we as audience have come to know them.
I'm Kinberg. Thanks for joining us this morning. Invasion Season 3 is streaming now on Apple TV Plus with new episodes dropping every Friday through October 24th. Dive in, catch up, and see what happens when the fight to save humanity goes straight to the mothership. Hey, thanks for joining us, Simon.
Thank you for having me.
Back to school season is here, and with it comes busy mornings, packed lunches, and keep the family healthy. So joining us today is author and lifestyle expert Meaghan Murphy with her top tips to make the school year a little yazier. Yay? No, I'm trying to say put a yay and easier together, but it doesn't work. For kids, parents, and everybody else involved. Welcome to the show, Meaghan. Failed us today. That's it.
Yay. Well, Dan, you are the man. That's my best rhyme. That's all I got for you.
There you go. There you go. What's your top tip for parents who want to make sure their kids have a good snack and meal options?
Yeah. I don't want anybody to get hangry. I got 3 kids, 15, 13, and 12. I want them fed. One of our favorites is Frollies. So this is a sweet treat made with real fruit juices and purees. There is a strawberry and a watermelon. They have these little chocolate seeds that crunch, yum, and then a pineapple flavor. There are no artificial flavors or colors. They have a very smooth sorbet-like texture. They're really delightful. I have been known to have one myself for dessert and not save them for the kids because, Dan, they're really, really good. And you can go to frollies.com to find a store near you.
Can you share some after-school snack ideas that both kids and parents will enjoy?
So, Dan, this was a big one for me. Real Good Foods, realgoodfoods.com, has a lightly breaded dino nugget. And what I love about these is they are gluten-free, grain-free, no refined flours, no artificial additives, really simple ingredients. I have gluten allergy. A lot of kids have gluten allergies these days. And this gives them a clean label twist on a kid classic. They can have their nuggets. There's 13 grams of protein in a serving. My big kids will put these in the air fryer as an after school snack. I've done these in a little thermos for a hot lunch for my little guy. And it's the kind of thing too, you could just put in the air fryer, get a quick dinner on the table when you're running from practices to back to school night to piano lessons, you name it. Really good to have your freezer stocked with Real Good Foods.
Gotcha. My next question is also another food question. It says, are the foods at work?
I already got you fed. You know what I think it is, Dan? We just want to keep people healthy. So no matter how good you eat and how much you sleep and how you take care of yourself, it is also back to cold season.
Gotcha.
And Cold Calm by Boron is a really, really good option. What I love about this, it's a line of homeopathic cold medicines that target specific symptoms at all stages of colds. So sneezing, runny nose, nasal congestion, minor sore throat. It's non-drowsy, non-habit forming, no phenylephrine, no artificial flavors, colors, preservatives. It's the kind of thing I keep the melt away tablets in my purse. The second I'm like, oh no, is that a little bit of a sore throat, a little bit of congestion? I love the melt-away tablets. There's also the single-dose liquid for the kids. This is all from Boron, BOIRON, USA.com.
Is there anything else that we have, or where can families go for more information or products that you've shared today?
Sure. So you can go to frollies.com, you can go to realgoodfoods.com, and you can go to boronusa.com.
And Meaghan, please share how we can follow you and keep up with all of your books and all the other good stuff.
All the yay?
Yeah, all the yay.
All the yay, Dan. All the yay. I'm on Instagram at Meaghan, MEAGHAN, B Murphy.
Meaghan Murphy, thanks for joining me once again, my friend.
Thank you, Dan, the man.
I've been a fan of our next guest for many, 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 many years. And it's not just the music. I love the clever way he tells stories through his songs. Now, he's kind of bringing that sharp writing to the Peanuts gang in Snoopy Presents a Summer Musical, the first Peanuts musical in over 30 years. He's the Emmy-nominated composer and producer behind the special, and he joins us today. Let's welcome Mr. Ben Folds. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, so this is the first Peanuts musical in 35 years. What excited you most about being part of such a milestone project?
Well, I mean, I love being able to write inside a character. I love that it doesn't have to be me. And because that's what I normally do. But I really see enough of myself in Charlie Brown, and that's the voice that I was writing for in this. I wrote the 3 Charlie Brown songs, essentially. And yeah, I mean, what's exciting to me is just to have a world and an inspiration that's thoughtful to sit inside. And the Peanuts is a thoughtful and I won't say slow, but it's not, it's not such an incredibly caffeinated world.
And the story, it captures the magic of summer camp and friendships that come with it. How did you approach writing songs that fit into that world?
Well, they're very grown-up thoughts. The first song, I pick up writing the songs from the third song out, and that finds Charlie Brown in quite a hole. He's bummed because camp is going to be no more. They're going to mow it down so they can put some malls up, and he's coming to grips with that. So, I mean, anything that is, rather disappointing or sentimental, he's reflecting on all that was before, how much time had been spent by so many generations before. He's mature enough to get and really understand it. And he's also mature enough to think about how he will see things when he's 50, 60 years old. So that's what I put in the song. I just allowed him to be everywhere from 10 to 60 years old inside the song. I mean, that's some freedom,
Well, he is the first kid that does have a pretty solid midlife crisis constantly, so I do like that.
That's exactly him. Yeah.
And you've had such a wide career from performing and touring and producing. How different was it creating music for these like iconic characters?
I grew up with it, so it's like creating for me. Like it's creating for me without having to be completely my story. And I've made a lot of albums, and they're generally about me.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's like using the chops that you get by writing a lot of songs, but also I was able to be inspired by it because I was inspired by the story. And I know that kids think about things very deeply because I know that I did, and that you did, and when we give them something to think about, it don't write down to them. And that was a great, that's a great part of it. You don't always remember not to write down to people. If you're writing, like kind of more broader pop sense, I don't know if it's quite as clear that your audience is always as intelligent, but with kids, my assumption is they understand everything.
I kind of feel that too. How much pressure is there for writing for such a major project and iconic character? Is there a lot of pressure there?
I didn't find it pressuresome, really. I found it easier because everything is excellent. The story is excellent. The animation is gorgeous. It's a world that we all know. There's no question about where you are. So I would find it pressuresome if I had to orient myself into a world that I didn't understand. And I might have to go back to the writers and say, what the hell does this mean? But that wasn't the case with this. This was like everyone was on the same page, and the page was initially, the architect was Charles Schultz, and it was a brilliant piece of art that keeps making itself again, so.
I think you're the perfect pick for this story. So thank you very much for being part of that. You can catch Snoopy Presents a Summer Musical streaming now on Apple TV+. Gather the family, grab some popcorn, and sing along with Snoopy and the gang. Ben Folds, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
If you got little ones at home, chances are you already know this bright and orange glasses and the blue tie. It's Blippi. He's been sparking curiosity for kids everywhere, and now he's hitting the road for the very first time with his brand new YouTube series, Blippi, the ultimate road trip. He's bringing friends, music, and plenty of fun along the way. So joining us now, it's the honor to have Mr. Blippi here. Hi, Blippi.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm glad to have you here. All right. This is your first time taking a big road trip in a series. What inspired you to go cross country for this brand new adventure?
Oh, well, I think it's really exciting for kids to see me in their hometown. So then they can go visit the places that I have been. And if you're listening in from Tampa, we're going to be doing some cool events at the Glazer Children's Museum, which is where I film videos. So that'll be super fun. And this is the first time I've also taken a cross-country road trip where I started in New York City and I hurried all the way to Los Angeles to meet my best friend Meaghan to play some fun games in the Be Like Blippi games. And along the way, I visited Nashville, Philadelphia, New York City, Los Angeles, and met a lot of new friends.
And you've had some pretty cool celebrity friends join you. Kane Brown, Jordan Fisher, Christina Tosi. What was it like teaming up with some of them for some of these fun challenges?
Whoa, it was so fun. And let me tell you, Kane Brown's family is so good at Floor is Lava. I was so impressed. Yeah, and Jordan Fisher, he taught me some cool dance moves that I have never tried before. Oh, and Christina Tosi and I, we baked some of the best cookies ever. Well, actually, Dan, I don't know if you've ever heard of a compost cookie. Instead of a regular cookie with chocolate chips, a compost cookie is all kinds of things like salty fish crackers and pretzels and potato chips. I think there might have been like a spicy ingredient too, but I don't remember.
Was it good though? Was it good? Did you eat it?
Oh, yeah, it was so good because it still had a lot of sugar in it, but it was like salty and sweet, and it was a flavor explosion. It was fun.
So the whole campaign is about curiosity and learning. What does it mean to be like Blippi, and how can kids and families bring that into their everyday lives?
Well, there are lots of ways you can be like me. I think being curious is the biggest, and to be curious is to try something new and to explore and make an adventure. And different ways you can do that is you can move like me by having a fun dance party. You can play like me by maybe playing a new game with your friends or your family. You can dress like me by maybe wearing your favorite colors, because I like to wear mine. And you can explore like me by going somewhere new with your family. You can also learn just like me by asking a lot of questions.
And if you had just one tip for kids about staying curious and exploring, what would that be?
Well, I think one tip would to be curious, and a good way to be curious is by trying new things. So I would say start by trying a new food, especially if it's green.
Green is the way to go for foods. All right, families could even get the chance to meet you in person and be like during Be Like Blippi Week. What can kids expect at some of those events?
Well, Be Like Blippi Week is all about celebrating curiosity. And so we're going to have events all month long throughout the country. And these events will have fun discovery areas where you can learn like me, explore like me, dress up like me, wearing these cool glasses. Yeah, and there might also be some singing and some dancing and some fun games. And I will be at a few of these events. I will be in New York City on the 23rd at the Paley Museum. I will be at Adventure Science Center in Nashville on August 27th. And on August 29th, I'll be in Los Angeles at Discovery Cube LA. And it'll be a lot of fun. I might even sing about a certain yellow construction vehicle.
You can catch all new episodes of Blippi, The Ultimate Road Trip, streaming now on YouTube. And don't miss your chance to join in on Be Like Blippi Week events happening all around the country. Just go to youtube.com/Blippi for more information. Blippi, thanks for joining me this morning, my friend.
Oh, thanks so much, Dan. Thanks, everyone.
That's it for Rise Unwind. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, go to our website, riseunwindtv.com, fill out the form, send it in, and maybe you could be on a future episode. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Just look up at Rise Unwind. Also, if you want to find us on YouTube, that is also at Rise Unwind. And until next week, that was Rise and Unwind.